This is On the Ice, presented by Independence Blue Cross, a weekly recap of your Philadelphia Flyers from blue line to blue line. Broadcasting live from Chickies and Pete's, tonight's show is brought to you by Hand & Stone Spa, Pat Dion Beverages, The Capitol Grill, Chickies and Pete's, Payroll Service Solutions, and Independence Blue Cross. We now go live to Chickies and Pete's for On the Ice, presented by Independence Blue Cross. Now, here are your hosts, former Flyer Brad Marsh and Paul Jolovitz.
All righty, welcome everybody to Chickies and Pete's, Packer Avenue in South Philadelphia. I'm Paul Jolovitz. This is Independence Blue Cross On the Ice. I'm here with my co-host, not Brad Marsh, but a goalie you might have heard of from the times in the past, Mr. Bernard Marcel-Perron. How are you, buddy?
Well, Brad, thanks. Cheers. Cheers. Brad wishes he would look like me.
Brad does wish he would look like you. He doesn't wish he had the back brace, though. How are you doing with the back injury?
Well, it's coming along, but it's slow. You know, it takes time. I want to take my time. And the doctor said 2 months I couldn't do anything. Can't drive, can't fly, can't do anything. The beauty about this is if I drop something on the floor, Jeannie has to pick it up all the time.
Everybody picking up for Bernie. There we are. We got a guy picking up for a lot of Flyers here as our guest tonight. His partner, Sean Walker, got traded to the Colorado Avalanche last week. Not many people blocked more shots for the Flyers than you, Bernie, but this guy's one of them. 184 blocked shots this year, leads the NHL. From Minnesota, just signed a 4-year extension. Bum left foot right now, but he'll be back soon. We're really happy to have Nick Seeler here with us. How are you, Nick?
Good. How you doing? Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Really a great thing. Nick, you guys weren't picked to do anything this year, the quote-unquote rebuild. You signed back with the Flyers in 2021, and we'll pick up on that a little later as well because you got a great story. But you're obviously a lot better than you think. You're excelling on defense. Your goalie, Sam Erson, obviously with Carter, what happened? Sam's picked it up. Your forwards stepping it up, Owen Tyson, Travis. Your coach. What's it like to be part of this little magical ride that's gotten derailed at times, but the resilience keeps it going?
Yeah, I think you said it best, is resiliency with this group, and we're just a tight-knit group. I think we believe in each other, and it's been a lot of fun this year. It really has. I think we've grown a ton since last year, and I think it has to do with the culture, the new management and Jonesy and Danny and obviously Torts is a huge part of it, and the way he approaches our group, and I just think the guys stick together and have each other's back. So it's been a blast.
When do you think you're going to be back?
They're telling me week to week, so I'm hopefully sooner rather than later, and obviously I'm itching to get back there. So,
Bern, when you played, you did a good job on your own. You won a couple cups. You're well aware of your Hall of Fame status with the rings on your fingers from the cups. When you had defensemen that block shots, but it wasn't as much of an art as it is today with kind of the samurai, whatever, just getting in front and saying, screw it. What was it like to have defensemen that block shots in front of you? How much easier to make your job?
Well, you see, when I played, it's a big difference in the way they're playing now.
Yep.
As a defenseman, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, you can't touch anybody in front of the net. And in the old days, my God, you could move players, and it would allow me to see most of the shots.
Yep.
And but today it's a different situation. But if this guy would have been in front of me when I played, I would have had another 20 shutouts in my career.
How many did you have?
How many did I have? Jeannie, how many shutouts did I have?
A lot.
48.
48's good. I had none.
You had none?
None. But I never let a goal in either. Nobody ever talks about my career. Hey, Nick, when the word adversity, resilience, all these, metaphors get thrown around, you guys have withstood adversity this year. You're down 5 D-men now. You missed 3 last night. 2 missed practice Monday. Travis just came back. Obviously, the Carter Hart thing. Torts got suspended. What does adversity mean to you?
Yeah, I think it's just that. It's the ability to, push through these times where, we're a little banged up, and our head coach might not be there for a couple games, but, that's a resiliency of this group, and it's kind of that next man up mentality that we've had all year, and obviously, we didn't play well in Tampa, but I thought, we had a a big win last night, even though it wasn't pretty. It was a good 2 points, especially around this time of year. So, the boys are sticking together, and it's fun to watch. And hopefully, I'll be back out there soon.
Hopefully, well, wait a minute, Bernie. I want to give you one thing. We have a next man up mentality at WBCB. Also, our fine producer, Mr. Chris Ermer, hath looked up your question. You had 54 shutouts
54
in your NHL career.
I was hoping somebody would say it.
Well, they did.
You undersold yourself.
Yeah.
But you know what? I feel today it's great listening to you.
You're talking to him or me? Okay.
Nick.
Okay.
Yeah, of course. You know what? The way the team's playing and the way you're talking here, it's a team effort. And you learn this as a young kid in sports, that if you want to win a championship, you're going to do it as a team. You have the exception, the one player is a little bit better than others. But at the end of the day, the whole team wins the championship. I remember when we won the first Stanley Cup against Boston, they had Orr, Esposito, Busick, and all those guys. And you know what? They should have won in 4 games. And we beat them in 6 games. Although we had a good goalie, but that's all right.
You had a good captain, too.
No, but it's just to show the people that you win as a team. And I see this with your team right now. I see that togetherness with the players, the coach, the fans, in Philly. And once you have that connections, anything is possible.
Right.
And it's been, you look at the rings, I was looking at, thinking about the rings, and you're looking at 50 years since we won. I think we're due to get a championship.
Right, exactly. Yeah. I think we're due too.
You never know. Listen, you won a 16. If you got 16 games left, if you survive that and get in the playoffs, the only way you can win a Stanley Cup is to be in the playoffs. I'd have to say, being honest, you're probably not going to win the Cup this year. You're not the favorite in Vegas, but you're in the dance with a chance, and that's all you can ask for, Rick.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, we've kind of been those underdogs all year long, and a lot of people counted us out and didn't think we'd be succeeding this much. And just like you said, once you're in the playoffs, there's a chance to win the Stanley Cup, and obviously that's the ultimate goal. So, hopefully we're able to make the playoffs this year and finish strong these last 16.
All right, we're going to play a little stream of consciousness here. I met you once in the locker room earlier this year. You probably don't remember it. You're a smart kid. We're going to stream of consciousness. I'm just going to name something. Give me the first whatever that comes to your mind.
Okay.
John Tortorella.
Accountability. Yeah, I would say accountability. And I mean that in the best way possible. I think he's the way he's approached our group this year has been amazing, and last obviously, but he just expects a lot from his players, and he expects a lot from himself as well, and he has the respect of all our players, and I certainly love playing for him. I think it's been a great fit since he's came here, and looking forward to playing for him for the next foreseeable future here.
Bernie, Freddie the Fog, Fred Sherrill, obviously said a lot of things that were very bright. Win today and walk together forever, and plenty of others. You play for the name on the front, on the back, the front of the jersey, the emblem, not the name on the back. Can you think of a lot of similarities? I know you don't know John Tortorella too well yet, but what are some similarities that make great coaches and that Freddie the Fog and John Tortorella both have?
Well, I watch him behind the bench perform with the team, And like I said earlier, it's a team effort. The coach is just as important, maybe more important at times than the team, on the ice. And it's very, very important to get the players to believe in themselves, to get the players to protect each other, to move on when the opportunity calls for. And you know what? And the only thing, like I said a little bit earlier, that I don't agree with the league is first, well, 2 things really. The number one is I still believe that defense should be able to take the players off.
A lot of people do.
You know what? Because then the forwards are just standing there and nobody's allowed to touch them. And then the second one that I have, I'm criticizing here, but it's good criticism, is I watch all the goalies in the whole league. They all play the same style. they drop to their knees because the equipment won't allow them to move their skates left and right, And when you drop to your knees, you can challenge a shooter. It becomes very, very difficult. But overall, the whole picture, the way the players are skating, the way they're shooting, the way they're, the defense, when it's the right call, to defend, the help the goalies, they're there, and I'd love to watch a game.
I got a question for you, Mr. Perron. I've covered hockey for the Flyers for forever and ever, known all the guys on all the teams. I know a lot of the refs in the NHL are buddies of mine, watched 10 million games. I've never seen a coach thrown out of an NFL game. And I asked a few of my ref buddies after the game Saturday, anybody ever thrown a guy out? Very, very rare. I mean, you got a game misconduct. Did Freddie ever get thrown out of a game? You ever see a coach thrown out of a game?
No. I played for some coaches that should have been, but
well, there's a culture in the NHL that you can talk back to the refs, right, Nick? I mean, there's a much looser culture. Basketball and baseball, you can't say a freaking word. Football and hockey, you pretty much say anything you want, right?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say anything you want, but
not anything.
Yeah.
Almost
I mean,
anything.
I think there has to be a respect level. Obviously,
Gee, Mr. Ref, are you sure?
Yeah, exactly, stuff like that. No, I mean, it's an emotional game, right? So, we want to win every single game, and if someone thinks that, it might have been a bad call or something like that, you can kind of voice your opinion, and the rest usually take it, pretty well because they'll give it back to you too sometimes,
sure.
And they get the culture surrounding hockey and the competitiveness, and but obviously there's always that respect factor.
Well, let's just be honest with you. Last night, you guys played really undisciplined hockey for two periods. Obviously, Torts wasn't there. Brad and Rocky running the bench. Whether it was the refs calling them loose, whatever. You played. You let San Jose back in the game with a couple power play goals. But then I think you realized after the second period as a team, I know you didn't play, but they said, we're not going to lose to these guys. We're going to tighten up. We're going to play a great third period. Sam made a great save. Travis, a nice pass. Owen got the goal. So you guys, even within a game, if you sense that the refs are doing this or that or the other and you're playing along with it, you can change in the middle of a game. How big an advantage is that?
Yeah, I mean, I think you've seen it all year long. I mean, you're not going to play a perfect 60 minutes, but, we've had some games in the past here where we, kind of laid an egg in the first and then come back in the second and third and have great, last two periods and win a game. So that's certainly important. And, I think it just has to do with the culture that is, we've kind of built this year. It's we're not going to quit on a game ever, and we stick together and play our game and see what happens. So that's kind of what you saw last game.
Bernie, Sam Ersson last night made a great save in third period on a breakaway that if San Jose scores, who knows what's going to happen. They'd be ahead 3-2, and whatever happens. How important did you take it to save one for the team? I mean, obviously you're trying to stop every shot, but in the third period in a close game, do you think of it as the game's on your stick, the game's on your pads?
Well, for the team, you know what I would have done in that situation? I would have given it back to him and say, try again.
Just give it back to him? Yeah. Sure you would have. You learned that from Zach Plant, right?
You know what? Everybody has, well, especially the goalies, because if you make a mistake, the puck goes in and you're down 1-0. It's important. What's important too is to read your defensemen, what they do in certain situations, and to read the forwards, and to read if it's a left-hand shot or a right-hand shot, what's their habits, the way they're shooting, stuff like this. So that helps you to anticipate what the play is going to be, and it puts you at the right place at the right time to make the save.
Nick Seeler has a unique mentality towards sports. I always wonder in dodgeball when he was a kid, did he say to the kid in front of him that's a pitcher on the baseball team, give me your best shot? Nick, when somebody's winding up, Bernie always talks about Bobby Hull's 121-hour slap shot. When someone's winding up from the blue line or from the slot, wherever it is, and you're a defenseman, my inclination if I was a defenseman would be, I got Sam Ersson back there. He's an NHL goaltender. Let's give him the best shot on screen to stop it.
Well protected, too.
Well protected. That's not Nick Seeler's mentality, Bernie. Nick Seeler's mentality is, why let it get at Sam Ersson when it can ricochet off my head, my shoulder, my knee, my foot. Where does that come from? Because it's unbelievable. It's selfless. It's accountable. Have you always been this way?
I appreciate that. Yeah, I mean, I think, it's kind of the style I play, I guess. It's something that you get better at as...
Because you had to, or because you've always been that way?
I would say a little bit of both. I think it's just kind of, part of the way I play and the way I have to play. And not just me. I think it's the whole team. Torts preaches blocking shots is a big part of, our game, and it leads to offense. And, if I'm able to do that in a nightly basis, then I'm going to do it. And, I don't mind getting in front of them. Obviously, you hope they don't hit you in a bad spot like the last one, but, that's the way it goes. You got to do it.
It's the way it goes. That's the Flyer mentality, folks. We're going to take a quick break now. Come back with Nick. Nick's partner, Sean Walker, got traded to the Avalanche last week. We'll talk about that, his view on the fans. Buzzing here at Chickies and Pete's with all kinds of baseball on, other sports. A lot of people coming to say hi to Nick. This is the Independence Blue Cross on the ice, live from Chickies and Pete's at Packer Avenue. Nick Seeler is our guest. We'll be back right after this. Stay with us, folks.
It's Pete from Chickie and Pete's, the official sports bar of your Philadelphia Eagles. Here's a winner, fall football, and Chickies and Pete's mouth-watering snow crab legs. For a limited time, buy one and get one free snow crab legs every Tuesday and Wednesday. Enjoy the sweet, delicate flavor of snowy white crab meat dressed in our special blend of seasonings and spices. Pair it with an ice-cold draft beer or one of our signature cocktails. Buy one and get one free snow crab legs every Tuesday and Wednesday for a limited time. Restrictions apply. Chickies and Pete's.
Millions of Americans are losing their medical assistance or Medicaid coverage. If this affects you, Independence Blue Cross can help. You may be eligible to enroll in a health plan for as little as $0 a month. With Independence Blue Cross, you get the largest provider network in the area, including most Keystone First doctors and hospitals. We also offer free 24/7 telemedicine, coverage for hospital stays and prescriptions. See if you qualify for $0 health insurance and enroll today. Call Independence Blue Cross at 1-844-464-2583 or visit ibx.com/staycovered.
A truly unique dining experience awaits you at Fogo de Chão. Fogo de Chão awes patrons with their history and tradition of authentic Brazilian steakhouse, offering many cuts of decadent fire-roasted meats prepared over an open fire and served tableside by trained gaucho chefs. Fogo de Chão, 1337 Chestnut Street in Center City, Philadelphia. For reservations, go to www.fogo.com or call 215-636-9700.
Payroll Service Solutions was established in 2001 to cater to the payroll needs of small to medium-sized businesses. Payroll Service Solutions offers unparalleled customer service while they deliver a complete and accurate payroll. When calling Payroll Service Solutions, you will never be put into a voicemail or go through a series of prompts to get to a person. All customer service representatives are extensively trained to handle all of your payroll needs, therefore saving you time. They value each and every one of their clients. No account is too small. Call Payroll Service Solutions today at 1-866-PAY-EASY for a no-obligation review of your payroll needs. That number again is 1-866-PAYEASY. Payroll Service Solutions.
Joseph Anthony Retreat Spa and Salon is the true retreat from the everyday, with locations in Glen Mills, Springfield, and Center City. Joseph Anthony is a premier salon and spa destination that offers unique and luxurious services such as the soft pack float and hydrofacial. The Center City location, located on the 5th floor of the beautiful Lowe's Hotel, is now open and features an exclusive summer menu where you can indulge in the Joseph Anthony experience in the exquisite Turkish bath. Joseph Anthony's little black card is the perfect gift for all your loved ones' relaxation needs. Call or go online to josephanthony.com. That's josephanthony.com.
Head out to Dion Square, located at South Oxford Valley and South Olds Boulevard, to get all your essentials in one place, with the following businesses ready to serve you: Pat Dion Beverages, CVS Pharmacy, Hair Cuttery, Smile Culture Dental, Biomat, Liberty Auto Tags, Pennsylvania Fine Wine and Spirits, Lee's Hoagie House, R&J Smoothies and Juices, AutoZone, and First National Bank and Trust of Newtown. Make Dion Square your one stop for all your shopping needs at South Oxford Valley Road and South Olds Boulevard in Fairless Hills.
If you're looking for a stylish and sophisticated fine dining experience, visit your Eddie V's Prime Seafood restaurant near King of Prussia. Eddie V's Seafood features an abundant selection of fine wines and curated cocktails to complement exquisite steaks and seafood made from the highest quality ingredients. In the V Lounge, sip on imaginative handcrafted cocktails with attitude while enjoying signature appetizers. Conveniently located between I-276 and I-76 near the King of Prussia Mall. Call them today, 610-337-7823 to schedule your night out for Eddie V's Prime Seafood.
Hi, it's Pete from Chicky and Pete's. Relax and enjoy a cocktail from our seasonal cocktail menu. Try one of our delicious, perfectly blended options like strawberry lemonade. How about a raspberry sangria, blend of Pinot Grigio, raspberry liqueur, and bubbly lemon lime soda? Or maybe a Hendrick's Gimlet or a Patron Tropical Mojito is more your style. Enjoy one of these or many others from our Chicky and Pete's sensational seasonal cocktail selection. Only at Chickies and Pete's.
We now return to Chickies and Pete's for On the Ice, presented by Independence Blue Cross. Once again, here are your hosts, Paul Jolovitz and former Flyer goaltending great Bernie Perrant.
And we're here at Chickies and Pete's at Packer Avenue. Independence Blue Cross presents On the Ice. We're here every Wednesday at different Chickies and Pete's. And the cooperation of the Philadelphia Flyers is a big deal with this. Joe Seville from the Flyers is here tonight. I want to thank Joe for bringing Nick and everybody, and obviously wish the Flyers well in their conquest for the Stanley Cup playoffs. It's time now for the Independence Blue Cross Live Fearless Player of the Week. This week it's Sam Urson, whose huge third period save keyed a big win against San Jose last night after an awful performance on Saturday. Remember to choose Independence Blue Cross today and begin to live fearless. Nick, part of fearless is knowing when to do it and when not to do it. You're a middleweight. You've been in some fights. You clearly will mix it up. I was so impressed last night with Garnet Hathaway. Well, I don't remember who it was, to be honest with you, but somebody took a shot in the third period. Garnet had an opportunity to retaliate, knock his block off basically, but he said to himself within a tenth of a second, like, you have to make the decision. Now, we're tied. I'm going to get a penalty. We're playing undisciplined tonight. All that got thrown in the blender instantly. He laid off. He scored a goal 30 seconds later. How important is knowing when to go, when not to go, whatever go means?
Yeah, it's obviously really important, and Garney did a good job last night. I think, there's different ways to let them know that you didn't like the hit.
You do it later though, right?
Right. Yeah, that was important. Obviously, important part. Timing into the game. So, it's something that you learn as you go along in your career. I think to pick your spots, and we have some guys that do well.
All right, I'm going to ask this question, Bernie, in a different way of Nick. Last week, Nick Seeler was on the trade block, as is everybody else in the world. August 9th, 1988, Wayne Gretzky traded after 9 consecutive MVPs, which means that nobody is untouchable anywhere, anyhow. Nick Seeler and Sean Walker, an out-of-nowhere defense pairing, a great defense pairing for the Flyers, both on the block. Sean winds up getting dealt for a first round.
Excuse me a second.
Yeah.
What's your question?
What's the question about what?
No.
Nick gets the 4-year extension. Sean goes to the Avalanche. I want to know a couple things, but first, I want to know, when you called your parents in Minnesota and told them you signed a 4-year, multi-million-dollar extension after a long road in hockey, you get to this point, what'd your mom and dad say?
Oh, they were just ecstatic for me. They were so happy, and they've been with me through it all, right? The ups and downs of a hockey career, and they're just obviously so proud of me, and they've been a huge support system for me, and along with my two older sisters. So I couldn't wait to give those two a call, and it's something. It's a phone call I remember for a long time. So.
Bernie, the way salaries have gone crazy in the NHL and all sports, what's the most you ever made in an NHL season?
Do you have a calculator?
I do, in my head.
I think it was like a couple $100,000.
All right, salaries are good these days, but now multi-millions. And
now they make this, every month or every 2 weeks or whatever.
I guess I'm just interested in the vicarious thrill. Everybody likes to live through other people. I'd like to live through you for a second, Nick. What's it like to know that, barring something ridiculous, obviously there's exceptions to every rule, that you're basically not going to have to worry about money for the rest of your life?
It's certainly, when I signed that contract extension, it's it hadn't really sunk in yet. It just feels I just feel very blessed to be in this situation and thankful for a lot of things, and it kind of makes you look back on a few years prior when I wasn't playing and wasn't sure of what I was going to do, and kind of look to where we are today. So it's I just feel very, very grateful to be in this situation and with a great support system around me, and to share that with, and so obviously it was a big moment.
Bernie, Nick's talking about looking back. I mean, Connor Bedard, I'm sure, will play a great NHL career. We've seen a million guys play careers, not many stop in the middle. Nick's did. Nick was on a bunch of two-way contracts, was with the Blackhawks, got released, and there was that aha moment in your life, I'm guessing, where you weren't sure what you wanted to do. Went back to Minnesota. Your dad has an industrial business. You spent a few months there, I'm sure, unsure about your future, then signed with the Flyers, and it's been a golden path since then. Talk about what led to that decision and how much it helped you.
Yeah, I mean, it was a tough year for me that year. I took off of hockey. I wasn't sure what I was going to do, what my career path looked like, whether that to get back into hockey or try to find a different avenue. I started working for my dad's company, just kind of shadowing him and learning as much as I could. And a few months went by, and it started to get that fire and that passion back. And talked to my agent. Wasn't sure what to expect as far as teams, but he reached out to the Flyers, and Chuck Fletcher at the time was the GM here. He gave me opportunity of 1 year, and here we are today. So it's pretty fun to look back on, and obviously grateful for that opportunity to get back into it.
And character says a lot about people, and it says a lot about you, Nick. And Nick's waiting burn for his first playoff appearance with the Flyers that hopefully will come after the next 16 games. You remember your first time in the playoffs? What year was it?
Yep. That was in 1850.
1850. Lincoln was, the Gettysburg Address would be in 13 more years. He freed the defenseman, right? He emancipated the defenseman.
Played with Boston, and then with the Flyers, of course, Toronto, and then I come. And you know what? I want to share this with people. It's important, and you're doing the same thing, which is very important, and I'm so happy for you. You got to take chances in life. You got to take chances, and when I played for Toronto, the World Hockey League came in, okay, and I remember the World Hockey League called me and said, "Would you like to jump ship?" And I said, "Let me think about it." I thought about it, and I said, I had learned so much because I had played 2 years with Toronto when Jacques Plante, if you remember Jacques Plante, I learned so much from him. And I said, if it doesn't work out, then I'll come back to National Hockey League. It didn't work out, so I came back, and Toronto, think about this, 10 days later traded me back to Philly, and then the following 2 years we won 2 Stanley Cup.
For Doug Favale, yep.
Yeah.
It's an amazing, so you never know what story your career path is gonna hold, and Nick's no different than anybody else. We don't know what tomorrow brings, much less anything else. But to me, life, Nick, is about people. It's not about sports or anything else, about the people and anything you do in life. And Sean Walker was your defense partner this year. I don't know how well you knew Sean before this year, but you guys got put together seemingly by divine providence and were great. You matched each other's strengths. The weaknesses you masked a little bit. Now he's on a different team. I'm sure you wish him luck if you guys aren't able to do well. But how much do you think you're going to talk to Sean along the way and help each other, and you think you guys are lifelong friends?
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to think so. I didn't know Sean coming into the year, and we just connected really well right from the jump on the ice, and he was a huge part of our success this year. I mean, the way he's has the ability to move the puck up the ice, and Torts always talks about surfing up, killing plays early, creating a lot of offense for us, and I just think our styles meshed really well. Obviously, I'm a little bit more defensive, and we really knew where we were going to be on the ice. We didn't have to talk a lot. We're certainly going to miss him, but I've talked to Walks, obviously since he's been traded. And
let me just start. This is part of the thing I don't like, Bernie. This NHL nickname thing walks. You don't take the last couple letters of a guy's name and add S or Y. Give the guy a real friggin' nickname. What's this walk stuff?
That's a majority of the nicknames.
It's a horrible
they
nickname.
do, exactly. Mine's Seals.
Seals. I mean, Richie, Simmer. Come on, Bernie. What was the best nickname? You got Bundy.
Wait a second. Let me ask you the
It's a
question.
real nickname.
What's your nickname?
Jolly. Everybody calls me Jolly. My last name's Jolovitz. I wouldn't give myself that nickname.
Have they thought about changing it?
If they pay me the money they paid Nick in his extension, they can pay me whatever they want. I'll tell you what. We'll talk about nicknames much more.
Frenchie. Mine was Frenchie.
I wonder why.
Yeah, I don't know. Oui, Frenchie.
Oui, monsieur. We are at
You know
Chicky.
what? Wait a second. I'm looking at this guy here. Besides being a great hockey player,
Yep.
he should be in Hollywood making movies. Good-looking guy, man.
Hey, thanks.
Awesome.
Likewise.
Plenty of hockey players in movies. Flyers have been in a couple movies. Lappy was in a couple movies. Maybe we'll get Nick to star in a new Tom Cruise blockbuster. We will talk about this with a French accent. We're back from Chickies and Pete's on Becker Avenue in Philadelphia with Nick Seeler and Bernard Marsaperon right after this. Please don't go away.
The French accent.
Hi, it's Pete from Chicky and Pete's. Relax and enjoy a cocktail from our seasonal cocktail menu. Try one of our delicious, perfectly blended options like strawberry lemonade. How about a raspberry sangria, blend of Pinot Grigio, raspberry liqueur, and bubbly lemon lime soda? Or maybe a Hendrick's Gimlet or a Patron Tropical Mojito is more your style. Enjoy one of these or many others from our Chicky and Pete's sensational seasonal cocktail selection. Only at Chickies and Pete's.
At Independence Blue Cross, we take care of the people who take care of you. Everyday heroes like firefighters, teachers, farmers, and healthcare workers. Doctors and hospitals across the region have IBX, and they know what it means to have reliable access to care. So whether you're saving lives or just trying to live a healthier life, count on IBX, the region's #1 health insurer for 85 years. Learn more at IBX.com.
A truly unique dining experience awaits you at Fogo de Chão. Fogo de Chão awes patrons with their history and tradition of authentic Brazilian steakhouse, offering many cuts of decadent fire-roasted meats prepared over an open fire and served tableside by trained gaucho chefs. Fogo de Chão, 1337 Chestnut Street in Center City, Philadelphia. For reservations, go to www.fogo.com or call 215-636-9700.
Payroll Service Solutions was established in 2001 to cater to the payroll needs of small to medium-sized businesses. Payroll Service Solutions offers unparalleled customer service while they deliver a complete and accurate payroll. When calling Payroll Service Solutions, you will never be put into a voicemail or go through a series of prompts to get to a person. All customer service representatives are extensively trained to handle all of your payroll needs, therefore saving you time. They value each and every one of their clients. No account is too small. Call Payroll Service Solutions today at 1-866-PAY-EASY for a no-obligation review of your payroll needs. That number again is 1-866-PAYEASY. Payroll Service Solutions.
Joseph Anthony Retreat Spa and Salon is the true retreat from the everyday, with locations in Glen Mills, Springfield, and Center City. Joseph Anthony is a premier salon.
Paul Jolovitz, and former Flyer goaltending great Bernie Perrant.
It is now time for the Smart Stat of the Week, brought to you by our buddy Danny at Payroll Service Solutions. Call them today at 1-866-PAY-EASY. That's 1-866-PAY-EASY. Simple stat tonight. 16 games left. What a fun ride it should be for Flyers fans. Let us rock. We're rocking with Nick Seeler and Bernie Perrant. That was their Flyers Smart Stat of the Week. Once again, brought to you by Payroll Service Solutions. Call them today at 1-866-PAY-EASY for the smart choice in payroll services. Payroll Service Solutions, catering to the small and medium-sized business to handle all of your payroll needs. Call them once again at 1-866-PAY-EASY. We are in the school portion of our show, and Nick Seeler is our student and our guest. And the question, I guess this could be Jeopardy, Nick. This could be school. The question is, who is Luke Witkowski, and what do you have to do with him?
He was my first fight in the NHL.
You got him, my man.
Yeah. So I got called up in Minnesota. I think it was probably my 10th or 11th game, and we fought in Minnesota. So,
what's it like? What's your first NHL fight like? I mean, you guys have Delorier, obviously, who takes care of business, but you're a middleweight. You'll fight anybody, and you have fought anybody.
Can I say something?
Absolutely.
Look at his face. He didn't get hit too often. He looks great.
Probably
man.
not.
Yeah.
I try not to, but it happens.
Yeah.
That's for sure. D-Lo caught me quite a few times.
You got hurt in a fight before?
I
mean, really hurt, not like a bruise or whatever. But
well, I mean, no. I mean, I've been, pretty, It's been good. I mean, I haven't had anything serious happen, so that's certainly a good thing. But everybody who does it knows the risk you go into it. But obviously, just pray that both guys are standing and doing just fine after, and the job was done.
You guys have Mr. Hilferty, who was supposed to be here tonight. Hopefully, he'll be here on a future date. Jonesy, Danny, both good buddies of mine. They've changed the culture of this team. They've instilled a family atmosphere with John Tortorella, kind of flipped the switch from Chuck Fletcher, who had some good things, but obviously some things that weren't so good as well in his reign. What's the culture like now, and how much of a pleasure is it to go to work every day? It's great.
Just the vibe around the rink is guys are excited to come to the rink and be a part of this, and we have such a great group of guys, and but it starts from the top, as you know, and speaking of Dan and Danny and Jonesy and what they've done with this group, and even obviously going down to the coaching staff has been great for us, and Torts is a big part of that, and but our locker room as far as the players, we're a tight knit group, and I just think we have each other's backs, and it's we have a good mix of young players and some older vets, and it's a lot of fun.
All right, Bernie, when you played, obviously 17,077 in the Spectrum every night. Some of the greatest fans in hockey. My buddies in Detroit always say, we're called Hockey Town. You should be called Hockey Town. Best hockey city in America. I'm going to ask you then, Nick, what do the Philadelphia fans mean to the team, and what do they mean to you?
Well, I think the fans play a big role, and to win the championship, to win the hockey game, but to win the championship, you know what? You don't do this with nobody in the building. You have to have the support of the city, and the support of the building. It was, what was it,
17,077.
77, and you know what? When you step on the ice for the first period, right? And you heard that the enthusiasm within the crowd, it gets you pumped, man. You want to perform, you want to do well as a team. No, as an individual, of course,
absolutely.
But as a team, and it really makes a big difference. So to me, it plays a big part.
So Nick, the fans are coming back now. They weren't really here the last few years, but now the excitement's getting back. You're playing big games. Obviously, when you go to block a shot, there's a quick twitch mentality that 20,000 people are excited that I'm going to do this. What do the fans mean to you?
Yeah, I mean, Bernie said it best. I mean, we wouldn't be doing what we're doing without the fans, and their support this year has been awesome. The excitement's back in the building, and I think back to the Rangers game this year. Even though we lost, it was a great game. Just the building was rocking that night, and it's fun, really fun to be a part of. And they have our backs, and this year, and it's they're the best fans in hockey for a reason. So hopefully we can do the job and make playoffs here, and I'm sure the rink's going to be rocking there too. So
I'm looking forward to it so much. It'll be great come Stanley Cup time. Yes, sir.
This guy here,
Name's Nick.
player, right, will have a Stanley Cup ring in the near future.
Let's hope.
Yeah.
What would that be like? I mean, obviously you dream about that. A lot of guys won't touch the cup. All these silly superstitions that you might not think are silly, but what's your dream about winning a cup? What would that be like?
That's the ultimate goal, right? That's the ultimate goal as a team, as a franchise. It's something that we all dream about. So if that's all I can say about that. That would be the ultimate goal, and that would be amazing. It's something that in our careers that that we work towards. So obviously getting to the NHL and then having the ability to win a Stanley Cup, that would be amazing.
I know there's nothing for you to compare it to because you don't play the other professional sports, but in the NBA, you win the Larry O'Brien Trophy. Half the people probably don't even know that. The Lombardi Trophy in the NFL is a wonderful trophy, but it doesn't have names on it. Baseball, they give you a trophy, whatever. Obviously, you win the World Series. All thrilling, all get parades, but you get your name on the Stanley Cup forever and ever and ever. People can see 300 years from now, obviously the rings will be cut off, but that Nick Seeler won a Stanley Cup. There's a team element to a sport, but we are all individuals. We all have egos. We're all human. We all have parents, relatives, friends. What would that be like? Nick Seeler on that cup forever.
Yeah, I mean, that would be a dream, right? So, but to do it with, I think you just think about the team that you're with, the teammates and coaches and that you did it with. So, obviously that's the goal. So, hopefully we can do that here.
Bernie, what was that first parade like? 2 million people.
Well, let's go back a little bit to your question. I think winning a championship, very seldom you hear players, I did this, I did that. We.
It's a Flyer mentality.
You know what? It is. You win as a team. You don't win because you're a great individual. You win as a team.
If you're Tiger Woods, you do.
If you had, well, it's golf. But if you had like Bobby Orr or Gretzky playing all by themselves against a team, they would never win the championship.
Nope.
So you have to be part of a team, a good team, and then bingo, that's when it happened. So when I think about the 2 Stanley Cups when we won, I just mentioned we won. Not
we in French means yes, but you're not using that one. The English we.
The players, the fans, and the whole bit. Yeah.
All right, Nick. You guys have a nice defense. Obviously, you got some injuries now. Sean got dealt. Rasmus hurt. People know the drill. But you got some young forwards. Travis is having a hell of a year. Owen, to me, is blooming before our eyes. An unbelievable pass from Travis last night, buried the game winner. Obviously, you got plenty of other players playing well. What's it like to have these young forwards and knowing they're only going to get better? Matvei Michkov coming next year. The future looks really bright for you guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. It's exciting.
Tyson, everybody.
Yeah. These guys have stepped up, quite a bit this year, and it's just fun to see. It's fun to be a part of, and I think it gets excitement in the fans in the building, and I love playing with those guys. They've done a really, really good job this year, and they're only going to get better, which is the best part. So it's fun to watch.
All right, Bern. Toronto comes in here tomorrow night. Austin Matthews kind of stuck on 54 goals. It's a nice number to be stuck on, if you know what I mean, to get to 54, but hadn't scored in a little while. Flyers bouncing back off the last night against San Jose, the worst team in the league, but they got to win. Tomorrow, the next game is the important game, as John Tortorella said. Tomorrow's the only day that matters. Today's the only day that matters. How important is tomorrow's game against Toronto, and can they shut Austin down again?
He has, 54 goals?
54.
Come on, baby. Come on. Come on. Right? You know what? Well, I played against guys where, Bobby Hull and all those superstars.
Bobby Orr, Phil
Esposito, and all those guys.
Dion.
And we won 2 championships. It's always we in sports. Unless unless you're a fighter, it's one-on-one or whatever. But as a team in sports, my philosophy is always we win and we lose. It's not my mistake or whatever. We lose as a team.
All right,
we
Nick,
win as a team.
We got to take a break, but I want to know first, the Flyers, you're not playing tomorrow night, obviously. Hopefully you guys get a win, but we hear about an NBA team coming, and we got to find a way to stop Jordan back in the day. Obviously, Joel Embiid, others now. Football, we got to stop this on the offense, blah, blah, blah. Every sport you key on certain guys. Is it like that in hockey? I mean, you skate 4 lines, you skate 3 D pairings. Obviously, you're aware of Austin Matthews and Torts about matching up against him. How much do you focus on one guy in your game planning?
Well, I think, Torts kind of preaches it this year. We focus on ourselves and our group going into games and playing our game. Obviously, you have to know who you're out with. They have a ton of star power, a lot of guys who can put the puck in the net, and you have to be aware of that. But when it comes to playing our game and playing fast and getting up into the rush and killing plays early, it's important for every line. So I would just say focus on what we can do.
All right, guys, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to find out. We're in Philadelphia. We're at Chickies and Pete's on Packer Avenue. Nick Seeler is from Minnesota, as was Noah Cates, our guest earlier this year. We're going to find out what Nick's learned to do in Philadelphia, what the city means to him. Obviously, Mr. Perron, it means a lot to you because you've lived here. Win today and walk together forever. You've done that. We're here at Chickies and Pete's with a bunch of great Flyer fans, a bunch of great energy. We will be back with our final segment right after this. Stay with us, folks.
Hi, it's Pete from Chickie and Pete's. Wrap up your workday with the all-new Chickies and Pete's Happy Hour with unbeatable specials weekdays from 4 to 6 p.m. Enjoy half-price orders of Chickies medium tender wings, one of our tasty and delicious pizzas, or an order of mouth-watering hot, cold, or fried shrimp. Plus $3 domestic bottled beers, $5 Tito's, and $6 seltzers. It's the all-new Happy Hour weekdays 4 to 6 p.m. only at Chickies and Pete's.
At Independence Blue Cross, we believe in giving you the tools you need to pursue your healthiest life. From premiums as low as $0 per month to health discounts and cash rewards, it pays to have coverage with Independence. With the strongest network of doctors and hospitals in the region and free 24/7 virtual doctor visits, you can feel confident that quality care is always within reach. Learn more about your coverage options at ibx.com.
A truly unique dining experience awaits you at Fogo de Chão. Fogo de Chão awes patrons with their history and tradition of authentic Brazilian steakhouse, offering many cuts of decadent fire-roasted meats prepared over an open fire and served tableside by trained gaucho chefs. Fogo de Chão, 1337 Chestnut Street in Center City, Philadelphia. For reservations, go to www.fogo.com or call 215-636-9700.
Payroll Service Solutions was established in 2001 to cater to the payroll needs of small to medium-sized businesses. Payroll Service Solutions offers unparalleled customer service while they deliver a complete and accurate payroll. When calling Payroll Service Solutions, you will never be put into a voicemail or go through a series of prompts to get to a person. All customer service representatives are extensively trained to handle all of your payroll needs, therefore saving you time. They value each and every one of their clients. No account is too small. Call Payroll Service Solutions today at 1-866-PAY-EASY for a no-obligation review of your payroll needs. That number again is 1-866-PAYEASY. Payroll Service Solutions.
Joseph Anthony Retreat Spa and Salon is the true retreat from the everyday, with locations in Glen Mills, Springfield, and Center City. Joseph Anthony is a premier salon and spa destination that offers unique and luxurious services such as the soft pack float and hydrofacial. The Center City location, located on the 5th floor of the beautiful Lowe's Hotel, is now open and features an exclusive summer menu where you can indulge in the Joseph Anthony experience in the exquisite Turkish bath. Joseph Anthony's little black card is the perfect gift for all your loved ones' relaxation needs. Call or go online to josephanthony.com. That's josephanthony.com.
Head out to Dion Square, located at South Oxford Valley and South Olds Boulevard, to get all your essentials in one place, with the following businesses ready to serve you: Pat Dion Beverages, CVS Pharmacy, Hair Cuttery, Smile Culture Dental, Biomat, Liberty Auto Tags, Pennsylvania Fine Wine and Spirits, Lee's Hoagie House, R&J Smoothies and Juices, AutoZone, and First National Bank and Trust of Newtown. Make Dion Square your one stop for all your shopping needs at South Oxford Valley Road and South Olds Boulevard in Fairless Hills.
If you're looking for a stylish and sophisticated fine dining experience, visit your Eddie V's Prime Seafood restaurant near King of Prussia. Eddie V's Seafood features an abundant selection of fine wines and curated cocktails to complement exquisite steaks and seafood made from the highest quality ingredients. In the V Lounge, sip on imaginative handcrafted cocktails with attitude while enjoying signature appetizers. Conveniently located between I-276 and I-76 near the King of Prussia Mall. Call them today, 610-337-7823 to schedule your night out for Eddie V's Prime Seafood.
We now return to Chickies and Pete's for On the Ice, presented by Independence Blue Cross. Once again, here are your hosts, Paul Jolovitz and former Flyer goaltending great Bernie Perrant.
As David Letterman would say, if we were having a better time, it would be illegal. We're here with Bernie Perrant and Nick Seeler on the Ice, presented by the great folks in Independence Blue Cross. We have one more segment. I'd like to go for 9 hours, but unfortunately that's not the deal. Nick, stats are one thing. I can look up and see Wayne Gretzky scored 894 goals, or Bernie had 54 shutouts. But then there's kind of glue guys on a team. You don't score a lot of goals, but you mean so much to a team. There's plus minus, there's hits, there's fights, there's blocked shots. You got a guy, Scott Lawton, who doesn't do a lot of anything in the statistical column, except he does a lot of winning. He does a lot of locker room, policing, whatever. My favorite Flyer is a great guy. What do guys like Scott Lawton mean to a hockey team? Something that's not obvious to somebody looking for every award in the world, but you guys know how much he means to you, right?
Oh yeah, of course. And he's a Flyer through and through. I mean, he's so important to this group and the young guys, and he's a leader. And he's one of my favorite guys I've ever played with. He has a lot of intangibles that you can't measure on the ice, but I do think he contributes really well on the ice, whether that's getting a big goal at a big time, and he's been playing really, really well these past couple months, and he's someone that I'm really glad is obviously sticking around, and because his name was out there as well, just like a few of our guys, and but he's extremely important to this group.
Yeah, Bernie, the Flyers can get together now, move toward the playoffs with no worries about deals or anything. Who was with the Broad Street Bullies? You had you and obviously Bobby Clark and Rick McLeish, and we know about the stars of the team. And who was the Scott Lawton? Who was the glue guy on your team that did all the little things and kind of kept the team together?
Well, we you remember Bob Kelly?
Absolutely, had him on our show.
Hound. Bob the Hound, was. You see, it's funny what we're talking about goes back to what we said beginning of the show. You have 19, 20, 21 players or whatever, and each individual has a part to play. And whether you play 2 minutes or whether you play 20 minutes or whatever, you know what? Your time is so important because you could lose with 2 minutes, you could lose a hockey game. It's
you
very,
won a
very
game with
important.
21 seconds left the other day, the Florida game. Mm-hmm. Like 60 minutes, right?
Yep. So it's very important that you know what you have to do. It's a defenseman, goaltender, forward, whatever. But then you apply this as a team, and then this is when you create success. It's very important.
Success is created through a lot of things. One of them, Nick, is honesty. And John Tortorella, he'll scratch people. He'll tell you what's going on. He'll tell us what's going on through Joseph Hill and other people. Your power play is not very good. It's last in the league. I think that's a good thing, actually, because I want to be with a team that finds areas that I have to improve on. I know if I can improve my power play, it's going to get better. If I'm pinning the needle at everything and maybe playing 100%, we can only go down. How do you improve a power play? How much do you work on it? Your penalty kill is great. You're leading the league in shorthanded goals. But the power play is one area where you can say we can get a lot better. How can you do that?
Yeah, obviously I haven't been. I mean, I'm not a power play guy, but being able to watch these guys work every day and try to get better at it and better at it. And I just think it's a confidence thing. I thought, last game we created quite a few chances, and we have guys that can score on the power play and create opportunities. And I just think it's a confidence thing in the power play. And I think it's, obviously you can only go up, but they're certainly working on it every day.
All right, Bernie Perrant and his beautiful wife Jeannie live here. Bernie's lived here his entire life since coming from Canada. You came here a couple of years ago to this big city. You're not from here. I came from D.C. many years ago to Penn, and I stayed. What have you found that you love about Philadelphia? Where do you live? The kids that you play with, the friendships you developed as a team, the city, the team hanging out. What's that like for you?
It's been great. Obviously, I wasn't sure what to expect coming to Philadelphia my first year, and honestly, when I got here, it felt like home. It was, there's a ton of good people in Philadelphia.
You're the Philly kind of personality, though. The block shots, the gritty guy, the Rocky type. You fit this city, don't you?
Well, I appreciate that. Yeah, I mean, that's something that the Flyers fans and they appreciate, which is good. And it's been a great transition. To Philly. It's the best place to play.
Bernie, when did you know you were going to live here the rest of your life?
What was the question?
When did you know you were going to live in Philadelphia for the rest of your life?
When I played?
Yeah.
And when I quit playing.
When you had your eye injury, if I had said to you, you're going to go back to Canada, you could have gone anywhere. You're a Hall of Fame guy, one of the greatest, if not the greatest goalie ever. Why Philly?
Well, because I love the fans, I love the people, I love the city, and it's just to me was I'd love to go back to Montreal, see my family and my friends, once in a while, but living here, I have a place on the shore, I have a boat.
3 blocks away from me.
We do. Yeah, that's why the value is not going up. Yeah.
Yeah.
But kidding aside, you know what? It's all one big family.
Yeah.
And when you're part of a big family, life is beautiful.
Well, one of the big family things, and I've covered the Eagle, I've covered every team forever, Nick, is the sports family that Philadelphia is. Obviously, the Eagles, Flyers, Phillies, and Sixers. We know about Jason Kelce's retirement and what happened with the other teams. You haven't been here long, but and you're from Minnesota, and obviously you have your boyhood roots. Who do you root for, and have you kind of got in touch with the Philadelphia sports scene and the other teams at all? Gone to any games?
Yeah, of course. I've been to a few Eagles games, and those are a lot of fun. We usually go as a team before the start of the season. So
really,
yeah, yep, and so we usually find a time to do that. It's been great. I mean, the fans are the best in this city. They rally behind their teams, and that's all you can ask for when you're playing in a city like this.
All right, final question, Nick. 2-3 years ago, people would say, who? 6'7" defenseman, Nick Seeler, who's that? Then you watch it a little bit and say, this Seeler is a pretty good little player, does a lot of good things, a lot of fun things. Then you step up this year, part of arguably the number one pairing on this team. You're winning games. Now you're leading the league in block shots, sign the extension. Most Flyer fans, everybody knows who Nick Seeler is. What's that like been on a personal level for you, going from basically nobody to a very important player in a very important hockey town?
Well, thanks. Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. It's been a fun ride, since I've come to Philadelphia, and I just think it's just something that you work towards, right? So, you want to solidify yourself and earn people's respect and every single day, and I'm just happy it's here in Philly, and obviously signing that extension has been amazing.
Bernie, hopefully a few days from now, or a few months from now, Nick Seeler will have one of those rings that you have, right?
I want to make a prediction.
Yes, sir.
That this young man here, beside being a good-looking guy, great personality, great player, you know what? In the near future, we'll bring a third Stanley Cup in Philly.
Let's do it, everybody. A third Stanley Cup for Philadelphia. It has been our pleasure having you here tonight. Chicken and Pete's, thank you to Packer Avenue. Thanks to Josephville and the Flyers for being here. Nick Seeler, you are one great kid. I'm now a huge fan. I was before, but a bigger one now. Best of luck in the future and all good things to you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you, buddy. Get that foot better. Bernie, great stuff as always. See you again real soon.
Paul,
yes?
You're looking great.
Thank you.
Why did I say this?
I don't know. I'll be on vacation next week. We'll have a show at Chickens and Pizza in Marlton next Wednesday with people to be mentioned. Chris Ermer has produced this fine program. Stephen Lawler back at the station, turn the knobs and the dials. For Matt Miro, everybody at WBCB, for Nick Seeler and Bernie Pront, I'm Paul Jolovitz for Independence Blue Cross on the Ice. Have a great week, everybody, and go Flyers.
Yes.
You've been listening to On the Ice, presented by Independence Blue Cross. Tonight's show is an exclusive presentation of 1490 WBCB and heard around the world at WBCB1490.com.